Hi drummers, hope you're well. So a question I just got asked, again which I get asked a lot, are what are triplets? Now triplets is one of those words that get thrown around by drummers all over the place, and they use it quite loosely to mean lots of different things. It has actually, in really when you get down to it, one very specific meaning. Triplets are 3 evenly spaced hits in the space of where you would expect to find 2. So that's the thing, it isn't the catch-all term for 3 hits in a row or just 3 notes generally. It's 3 notes in the space of where you would expect to find 2, or by default you'd find 2. Let's take a really simple example, probably the most classic example of all, which is 8th note triplets. So 8th notes, regular 8th notes, not triplets, go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if you're in 4/4, 4 beats in the bar, you play 2 hits on each beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You're getting that 2 hits per beat. Now 8th note triplets have the same note value, but on the page they'd be notated with a little number 3 over the top. That tells you that you're playing 3 notes evenly spaced in the same amount of times where you would have previously played 2, or by default you played 2. So remember, regular 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 8th note triplets, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. You get it? So within each beat, in that case, 3 evenly spaced hits. The evenly spaced thing is really important. Often people mistake that rhythm that goes 1E and, 2E and, 3E and, 4E and for a triplet. That's not a triplet because they're not evenly spaced. That's just a combination of semiquavers and quavers, 16ths and 8ths, 1E and, 2E and. 3 evenly spaced hits in the space of where you would normally find 2. Next example would be 16th notes or semiquavers. So regular 16ths, not triplets, would be 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So 16th note triplets are often called sextuplets, where you're going to play 3 notes in the space of every 2 that you just played before. So in other words, 6 hits per beat instead of the 4 that you get for regular semiquavers or 16ths. So regular 16ths one last time. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Here's the beat, here's the quarter note. So sextuplets, semiquaver triplets. You're getting that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on each note. You can count things like 1 and trip and le and 2 and trip and le and 3 and trip and le and 4 and trip and le and. Or you can even count 1 triplet and triplet, 2 triplet and triplet, 3 triplet and triplet, 4 triplet and triplet, depending on the feel of the music. But like actually, fun enough, like I said in a video, a little series about sextuplets, which I'll link to below or above, depending on where you're watching this, about sextuplets that I've started doing recently. I always feel like around that point, when you get to 16th note triplets or semiquaver triplets, like 6 evenly spaced out hits, at that point, usually the counting kind of gives way to just feeling it. But again, the principle, the triplet principle, 3 notes in the space of where you previously found 2, or where you would expect to find 2 by default, stands up, doesn't it? So one last time, 16ths, 1E and 4 hits on per beat, and 16th note triplets or sextuplets, same thing, two different names, 1 triplet and triplet, so 3 in the space of where you had 2, 6 where you had 4. And you can even do it for quarter notes, right? So regular quarter notes or crotchets, just 1 hit on each beat, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we play quarter note triplets, we're going to play 3 evenly spaced hits in the space of where we previously found 2. In other words, on beat 1 and 2, 1, 2, they were our quarter notes, right? That was the two hits, and then we're going to go 3 hits in that same space. So quarter note triplets, 1 triplet, 3 triplet, 1 triplet, 3 triplet. This is sometimes a little bit more of a tricky one for drummers starting out to get their head around. So just a couple of times here, I'm going to play 1 bar regular quarter notes, regular crotchets, 1 hit per beat, and then I'm going to play 1 bar of quarter note or crotchet triplets, and I'll just cycle through that a couple of times. So 1, 2, these are regular quarter notes. Now the triplets, 1 triplet, 3 triplet, regular ones on the beat, 2, 3, 4 quarter note triplets, 1 triplet, 3 triplet. You seeing that? So that's the basic idea. Whatever note value you're doing, it's 3 notes now, which are evenly spaced in the same amount of time that it previously took to play 2. That's what a triplet means. So again, it's not a catch-all term for just 3 hits or 3 notes. It doesn't mean something on a ride cymbal bell when you go ding, ding, ding. It doesn't mean on a bass drum when you go bomb, bomb, bomb. It might be, but it depends on that specific thing. To label it as a triplet, It has to be, again, 3 evenly spaced out hits in the space where you would have expected to find 2, or by default you would find 2. So remember, when you see them on the music, the little 3 over the top, well, that's what it's telling you. If you've got, for example, some eighth notes written on your music, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there's no number 3 or anything like that over the top, they're played in the regular fashion. Assuming you're in 4/4, they go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. When you've got the 3 over the top, well, any number written over the top of some notes means that they're being phrased in a way that is different from the default that the time signature is setting up. So the default eighth notes in 4/4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you see the 8 with the little 3 over the top, you know you've now gone away from the default phrasing of those eighth notes, and you're now playing 3 in the space of 2. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Very occasionally, especially not in older scores, you sometimes see 3 like :2, like a ratio 3:2. But most often now you just see the 3 written over the top of the notes. So that's what triplets are. I hope that all makes a bit of sense. Any questions about that, please let me know. That seems to cover the majority of things that come up in the sessions that are on here and on Zoom as well, like the questions people ask about triplets. But any other questions, please let me know. And thanks a million. Cheers.